Senior pastor of Divine Mercy Church, Ola Tobiloba Peters, has cautioned Bola Tinubu, a 2023 presidential aspirant, against going ahead pursuing his ambition to become president. Pastor Peter said members of the All Progressives Congress APC would collect Tinubu's money and vote against him. Speaking with Daily Post, the clergyman said God showed him that APC members would use Tinubu's money to push for the vice president, Osinbajo, to become president. Tinubu, who informed President Muhammadu Buhari of his intention to contest for the 2023 presidency, had said the move was a lifelong aspiration for him. The APC national leader said he is still consulting with relevant stakeholders over his decision to succeed Buhari in 2023. However, Pastor Peter said God created Tinubu to build kings and not to be one himself. The clergyman urged the former Lagos State governor not to waste his money over his presidential ambition. He, however, warned that Nigerians would regret it if Tinubu forces himself into power through rigging. According to Peters, this is the message God gave me to Tinubu. Don't run for presidency because you will never get it. You didn't create him to be king. His original purpose in life is to build, make, turn people into king materials, what you call king makers. Tinubu should not waste his money and time because it won't work. If he insists on running and rigging himself into power, Nigeria would be worse. Nigeria will regret Tinubu ever root them. All the legacies he built over the years would go off the window. I see they are trying to get Osinbajo to run. Should he agree to run, APC will not collect Tinubu's money. They will collect Tinubu's money and use it to campaign for Osinbajo. With what I have heard from God, I would advise Tinubu to step down and support Osinbajo. Many prophecies here and there, many prophecies here and there. All these prophecies, you as a person, you have to look at it holistically and look at it thoroughly. One thing I believe is that with what is happening, you don't even need a soothsayer to say this is it or this is not it. But if you want to go with the way of prophecy, you have to be very, very careful. You have to look at which is, test all spirits and hold on to that which is of God. Because a lot of people are just like, they're the kind of feeling. Some people can just sit down and say, oh, this is what I feel. You begin to feel that thing strongly because there are some things that are really, they are real. The reality are just around you there. You begin to feel so strongly. And it could be that, you're saying, oh, it is God that is talking to me. But for those who are not even spiritually inclined, somehow, because it's relative when you say some people are not spiritually inclined, because everybody is created by God. So every bit of God's spirit is in you. You might be saying some things without even seeing some drama. Oh yes, you dreamt. Oh, you say, oh, somebody just came to you and you begin to hear some kind of strange voice and all of that. The way God speaks with everybody, God speaks with everybody. Somebody say, my mind was just telling me. Which mind? You don't have mind. It's God's mind. My mind is just telling me this and this and this and that. But the way it comes, it's in different form. What with reality on ground, one can see this is it, this is it, this is it. Oh, who can do this? Who cannot do this? Who can do this? Who cannot do this? And that is why, everything is not spiritual. Yes, you can come and argue it with me. Everything is not spiritual. If you want to get a job, they have to look at what you have done, your credentials, what and what, and based on that, they will be able to have trust. Yes, this person can really do this job based on what the person has achieved, and you'll be able to confirm. Or you can't just even come to somebody and say, oh, I'm a professional in this field. I'm a doctor. Yes, we know you're a doctor. Where's your certificate? Where did you school? We just want to see how far you have gone. So with what is happening, I think every individual should be able to know, apart from those who are not, we have a lot of a tiny fraction of people who are really blind to the situation of things. We have some people who are just psychophants. We have some people who are just selfish because of what they want. Some people are not just are being deceived. They don't really want to learn, but majority of the people are beginning to realize what these people stand for. Before you say you want to go spiritual. Oh, God said this, God said that. Even without being told, a lot of people already know the antecedent of these people who are parading themselves that they want to be this, they want to that. You already know what they have done over the time, and you can say no, we can't continue like this. And that's why I use the analogy of you being a professional and you have your certificate. But with what is happening, everybody can be able to. You don't need spirituality to say this, to know that you can just see some things that have been happening and say no, this is not going to go well. But if he wants to vie for any position, let him go and vie for the position. But I think the larger part of the work, to a very large extent, depends on the people. They are the one that will not determine. Yes, what you call development, what you term as achievements, it is not achievement to other people. For those who have benefited from all these politicians that have given them one thing, you can come and say they have done something. To me, all these things that people are talking about, you did this, I'm not seeing it. But for those of you who think you have benefited from them, you can see it. But what is the use of just few individual benefiting from somebody or from something at the expense of or the detriment of the larger populace, whereas everyone's supposed to be beneficiaries of all of these things, and you say, oh yes, these people have, somebody has made somebody king. This to me it's just overhyping. We know the manner to which they are doing all these things, using force. You gather people, you give them money, they become your erukus, they become your errand boys, they become your thugs, and you use that to intimidate people, and people just succumb because they feel that you are powerful, or whatever, and as a result of that, the person is automatically a kingmaker. We see what is happening when people are being compelled to just yield to what they are not supposed to yield to, and you come and tell us those are achievements. Those are achievements. I strongly disbelieve that. If he wants to test his popularity, they should leave him. Why are you telling him? He said this is what he has been nursing for a very long time. There's nothing wrong with that. You might just, oh, I want to become this, I want to be doctor, I want to be nurse, I want to be a pastor, I want to just be a philanthropy. It's not that when you talk about being a philanthropist, it doesn't mean that you have to have all the money in this old world. A lot of people have the money and yet they can't even give you a penny. But some people, with the little they have, they just want to make people happy. They just want to make people to feel good. That is it. Some people are called for that. Some people see other people, they are happy when others are rejoicing. They are happy when others are happy. But some people, they love when others are suffering. Everybody with his own way of doing things, or let me say, if you want to spiritualize his area of calling or area of specialization. So if he wants to vie for the position, but at the end of the day, we are just being deceived. We are always trying to be politically correct, and meanwhile, the reality, we are faced with reality of suffering, pain, and agony. Yeah, you don't have to say it, even if you are going through stuff with all these things Nigerians are going through. They don't want you to speak. Oh, you don't have to say that. You have to be okay. You have to be politically correct. Don't just say, don't, there's something you don't say. You are feeling pain, you are hungry, and somebody say, oh, you have to bear it. That is exactly what we are going through in this country. With all of them who are theoretical, who are not practical, they will tell you just be believing. And they know, and you know quite well that they have nothing to offer, whether from party A or party B or those who you are thinking, who you think that are going to do the right thing, they have nothing to offer. Like they always say, seeing is believing. Until when things are being done, before you now know that, oh, these guys are really serious. So, if he wants to run, allow him to run. He's entitled to his opinion, and there's nothing wrong in failing. Once you fail, you pick up your failures again and forge ahead. So, if he fails, it's not a big deal. He that has ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying if you want to live.